Welcome to Pertam. It's been storming a lot. Kind of just hunkered down here. Gonna go explore. Didn't get very far. The storm rolled in. So while we're waiting for the storm, let's take a quick look at the mod list. I know a lot of you will be asking after the first episode, what mods are we using? Well, let's go take a look. We've got quite a few mods here. I'm trying out a couple different lightning mods. That one's disabled right now. And I actually took off sneaky sounds, which I had on the first episode. I think it just makes the tools too quiet. I don't know. It was part of a mod pack that I found that had this big collection. But we're going to take that one off. The reason I got rid of the lightning, it was just crazy. Lightning storms were happening a lot, and the lightning specifically targets the player and also the wheels for some reason, and I think it's bugged. It was just crazy. I would fix the rover, and then 5 minutes later another storm would roll in and it would destroy parts of the rover. If you're anywhere outside, the lightning will instantly strike you. It's just stupid. So one of the mods I got is, what's it called? There it is. Less lightning, less damage. So we're going to try that out. It should cut down on the frequency and the damage. And this also fixes a bug where a lightning strike will instantly destroy heavy armor. So yeah, kind of buggy. But let's just go through the list here. A lot of these are NPC type stuff. Abandoned settlements. Advanced welding is nice. It gives you a little block where you can just, it's kind of like a better merge block, basically. You can weld stuff together. Aerodynamics, physics. I don't know if we'll get up into flight very soon, but this gives you deadly re-entry, drag, and just kind of atmospheric flight type characteristics. Assertive bunkers, again, more NPC stuff. Installations. Automatic ore pickup is when you're drilling, it automatically goes in your inventory. Very handy. AwwScrap. It's a great mod. So when you grind stuff down, you get scrap instead of the components, which to me feels a lot more realistic and more fun. Better stone is different ore deposits. So you'll get like mineral combinations and just different, better ore deposits. It also makes them deeper, so they're harder to get to. Build vision is just nice quality of life mod, lets you see stuff. Build info is kind of the same. I thought I actually took this one off. Let's take off build info. Bullet trail gives you like a tracer effect. Gets rid of the stuff on the clear LCD. Gets rid of the stuff on the LCD. So it's colorful icons. Pretty self-explanatory. Deep ores hardcore. I'm not sure this is working in conjunction with the better stone, because the hardcore version of this is supposed to not have any trace on the surface, but there is still a trace on the surface sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. So this just makes the ores way deeper, harder to get to. More of an interesting challenge. And we got all the daily need stuff. Hunger, thirst. Respawn pod with supplies. Easy inventory. I think that is just a kind of a better build queue system. HUD compass, self-explanatory. Jetpack limit. This is a big one. Low power, small tanks. So the jetpack basically is only useful in space, which I like. I think the jetpack by default just makes it too easy. I think this is just a tiny turret. More NPC stuff. The ore detector, it makes the large grid, you can go up to 500 meters and the small grid out to 250 meters, just to work in conjunction with deep ores and better stone. Pirates are basically always mad at you. More custom encounters for NPCs. Small ship mega mod pack, just a lot of small ship components. One of which we'll see on my rover. Smarter suit, it does things like close your visor if you need to breathe, that kind of stuff. More NPC stuff, API that we need for some mods. Tiny little Gatling turret. This is a ladder set. That's just a little better than the base ladders, in my opinion. Makes it easier to use ladders. And I've actually got one of these on the rover that I built. Panel hinge, mostly for solar panels. Just gives you a piano style hinge. Paint gun is an awesome mod I saw on somebody's video. I can't remember whose it was. It just gives you a great way to paint blocks. And then less lightning, less damage. That's it. That's a big list. Let's get back over to the surface and see if we can do some exploration. I think the storm has passed. Seems a little quieter anyway. So this is a rover design I came up with, and I rebuilt it like 2 or 3 times since the first episode. And I'm pretty happy with this result. And I took a little bit of time to paint. It didn't take very long, just to give it a little, little class, a little pizzazz. So let's start over on the other side. So I've got my survival kit, of course, topped off with energy. I've got my daily needs, just kind of the basics here. Food sequencer, water recycler, and emergency rations. Once we get a base established, we'll start growing our own food and getting that a little more on board. We've got an antenna. We've got these little batteries all over the place. These are, I think, 2 megawatt batteries. I've got, I don't remember how many, quite a few. A couple programmable blocks here that I'm not actually using now. I've been experimenting. I had IC's ship refueler and IC's solar array controller, but both of those are off. No longer using them. I'm just going to do the solar panel manually. Speaking of which, I've got some buttons here for the solar panel and for the lifts. I've got piston lifts so I can jack this thing up and work on it. That's what this button controls. The panel is on a hinge. It can go straight up so I can adjust it and get the best sun angle. And we've got the pop this up here, O2 H2 generator hanging off the side there. I've got a H2 tank on each side. Connector on the back for eventually connecting to a base and transferring and charging. More batteries, another H2 tank here. And I've got the refinery stuffed in there and an assembler. And a hydrogen engine. And then this is the ladder I was talking about. So I can climb up on top and work on things. Right now the panel's in the way. Ore detector here on the side and a gyroscope to keep everything good to go. And we've got some batteries. I've got some more room here. I might be adding armor and other stuff as we go. And of course we got lights up top. So that is it. That's the little ship. I can move the solar panel. I can also move it from the cab. Lets me jack it up if I need to. When I first built this, I didn't need the blocks on there. But for some reason it slides now if I don't have a block. So I put a little half armor block on there for a foot. So I might need to move those up at some point. I'm not sure. Thinking about putting bigger wheels on this at some point. But anywho, let's get to exploring. I need to find an oasis with some ice. So where are we headed? I don't know. Oh, one thing I wanted to do before we got going. I've been using the P key. I think that's the same thing as the parking brake, right? We'll put this on 8. And brake on off. Is that the same thing? I'll do the P key. It's not making a noise. So maybe the P key does something extra too. Alright, I'll use the handbrake. So we need to explore. We need to find an oasis and get some ice. I know there's ice at the oasis and also some of the darker green patches of the grass from some of the testing I've done. I don't know if there are other features that have ice. Whoa, a little steep here. So let's head east. In game, it's been, I think, a couple days since the first episode. I had quite the adventure. I did a little bit of exploring around the starting location, found some ores, got a bunch of meteor stuff, so we got some exotic stuff in the inventory here that I can't actually refine yet. I got some of the basics. I found some deposits. So we've got, you know, iron, silicon, nickel, magnesium, a little bit of stuff to travel with. The main thing we need is ice. So we're on the hunt. But here's an ore deposit. Like I was saying, some of these show up on the surface. Some don't. So we have some nickel and some cobalt. So we got dense iron, cobalt, and nickel. I'll probably just leave the ore detector on. We're going to head generally in an easterly direction. Just keeping an eye out for dark green grass or a bunch of grass and trees, which will be an oasis. So more silicon and magnesium. Now see, this doesn't have... Oh no, it does have a little bit of discoloration right there. Alright, looks like we're heading into some hills. I don't know that there would be ice just kind of buried under the sand, but we'll leave the ore detector on just in case. There's quite a few trees off to the right there. Let's go take a look at that. Could just be trees and yellow grass. Ooh, easy. I want to fly over a hill here. Sand can be deceptive. This turned out to be an oasis. That would be awesome. But I think it might just be a few trees. Yeah, I think it's just a few trees. I don't see the dark green grass. We'll take a little sniff here with the ore detector. There does seem to be a lot of ore. It's just deep. I've found a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't see any ice here. Alright, I'm going to keep traveling, and once I find some ice or something else interesting, I'll bring you back in. I've been traveling east, and I decided to turn north. I saw some mountains. Came over here and thought there might be some ice, but so far nothing. But I came across some deposits here that kind of shows off the better stone. So you can see we've got Ladsleyite, which is silicon and magnesium once you break it down. Then we've got Glaucodot, probably saying these wrong, which is iron and cobalt. So just some more interesting ores, and they're quite deep. 300 plus meters. So yeah, it can take a while to get down there. But I came across, it looks like a dry lake bed, so let's head down there. It would be great if there was ice down in the dry lake bed, but I don't know that there is. Let's go take a peek though. So far it's just been rolling endless sand dunes for quite a while, and then I turned north into these hills, hoping to find something more interesting. So we got some more ores out here. Be a good place for a base. It's nice and flat. A lot of silicon and magnesium. There's some cobalt. A lot of minerals under here. Silicon, magnesium. Baddie over that way. So it looks like this dry lake bed is just full of silicon and magnesium. So let me go ahead and mark that. Let's mark it as a dry lake. Turn that off. You can see I found a lot of stuff. Just no ice yet. I thought maybe if I got into more rugged territory, we'd find something. I'm going to put my solar panel back down. I had it up for a little bit when I was headed east, driving right into the sun. So I'm going to keep heading into the hills, and we'll see what we find. And a little canyon here. Rover doesn't have very good brakes. This is an old riverbed. Would be nice if it had some ice in it. So far, nothing. I've seen some cool scenery, but that's about it. Have enough power to make it up here? Come on, rover. There we go. More desert. What this planet's all about. That's a cool feature, though. Oh my goodness! Ice. We have ice. I was just about to give up. Look at that. It is down in the old riverbed. A big ice deposit. All right, how do we get down there without exploding the rover? Yeah, look at that big patch. All right. Cool. Well, we might be building a base around here somewhere, but at least we got some ice. I can get the hydrogen tanks full. Get some food made. This is our lifeline right here. Ease down into the riverbed. Beautiful. Look at that. And it's in the riverbed, just like you would think it would be. And then the grass here will give us organics to make the food with. Definitely going to mark this. Ice. And we have a storm rolling in. Go figure. This planet does like its storms. You never know how bad the storms are going to be. So I'm going to dig a hidey hole. where the lightning can't find me. There we go. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes here on Pertam. You finally find the ice, and the storm rolls in. Sometimes there's lightning with these windstorms, and sometimes it's just wind. I don't think I'm going to risk it. I'm going to wait it out in my hidey hole. Unknown signal. We found ice, so I'm going to take a look around the area here, and next episode we'll probably get some kind of at least a temporary base started where we can build and get some food going, get some power generation. And it's a pretty good size ice deposit. I'm not sure how deep it is, but we'll probably build around here, and this will be kind of our jump off point to get started on other exploration since we've got some ice. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you next episode. Storm is crazy. I can barely see the rover down there. Pertam is no joke. I'm going to stay in my hidey hole.